All right guys, now we're gonna be focusing on our SN4024. This one is our 40-inch by 24-inch model. It's a 100-watt laser as well. With the 100-watt laser, again, this is gonna be great for cutting and engraving most materials. As far as engraving capabilities go, pretty much anything other than vinyl, PVC, that type of thing. The off gases aren't safe for you, but it's also not safe for the laser. Beyond that, cutting capabilities with the 100-watt, we've been able to go up to 3/4 inch in wood and acrylic. The wood obviously just depends on how hard or how soft it is. But beyond that, right now we've got the 4024 set up as a box style laser. Again, a traditional type laser, so we have the 40-inch by 24-inch work area here. So if I was working with small, lightweight stuff, right now I have a piece of slate in there. It's very, very easy just to load the material in, be able to upload my file, that type of thing. But let's say someone comes to us with a strange request. Let's say they have a whiskey barrel or a stool or something like that. How do we do it? So real quick, we would turn on the laser, give it a second to kind of initialize here, but then we've got the top of the laser, we're going to call the laser itself, and then the bottom we will call the Z-table, and then this frame around it would be considered the utility carriage cart. So what we have to do now is just basically disconnect the top from the Z-table. There's one power cord to do so. It's right in the back of the laser here. You just kind of twist it off. It's like a 9-pin plug. Once that is out, you'll see on the front of the laser here we have two handles. And then the table itself is on wheels, so you can just roll it easily right out. And then again, this is where the AP laser is really gonna shine. This is our patented portion of the laser, the open architecture. So again, right now we've got our Z table, 100 pounds, about 15, 16 inches of up and down Z height. If we had something that was heavier, something that was bigger, again, like that stool, that whiskey barrel, something like that, rolling the table out, now we can easily fit the material under there and just make sure we're bringing it up to the laser to be able to engrave it and so it looks nice. Putting the table back in place, again, super straightforward. I'm just gonna roll it right back in place. And then we've got our connection in the back. Just make sure you plug that back in. There we go. Now, one of the questions I get a lot on the 4024, actually all the models, but on the 4024 is what is the weight of the top and the bottom? Can I move it through a standard size door? These are all great questions. We've got customers with lasers in their garage, their basement, studio apartment, storefront, you name it. Any way to get the laser is no problem. As far as getting it through a standard door, the top and the bottom are both roughly about 200 pounds, but I can easily turn them on their side with a couple strong people, of course, and be able to maneuver them through the door that way to be able to set up in its final destination. Again, so right now we've got it set up like a traditional box style. I've got that piece of slate in there. We've got our venting all hooked up as well. So right now, we've got the venting that's gonna be coming from the top. You also have the ability to vent from the bottom, creating kind of like a vacuum and pulling all the fumes out. What it's gonna do is, again, you just wanna get those fumes outside somehow. We don't wanna be in a room filled with smoke. So if you're cutting wood, it's not gonna hurt you. Cutting acrylic, it's not gonna hurt you. We just wanna make sure that we're being safe and just, again, not in a room filled with smoke. So if I have my material in here, right now the laser itself has a 2-inch focal lens in the nozzle here. You can also hear the air assist. That's what that hissing noise is. And that's pretty much the loudest feature of the laser. But what we want to do is we want to get our material in here and we're gonna make sure it's within that 2-inch focal distance to the lens to get that nice, clean, crisp image that we're looking for. So we're gonna utilize our focal stick, our 2-inch focus stick. So the Z-table itself, I have mechanical control. So I'm gonna bring it up. As I mentioned before, I have about 15, 16 inches of up and down height here. So with my focus stick, you'll see there's a little tooth on top. I just want it to kind of grip here, and if it's flush along the material there, then I know I'm within that 2-inch focal length. The laser itself is invisible, so we've got a red dot diode there so we can help visualize and see it. So all I'm gonna do now is find my edge. And if I had to make any manual adjustments, I can do so. Then I would set up my final spot. I would load my file just by hitting the file button, hit enter. We've got a file in here from earlier. I would hit my origin, which again, my starting point, and I could start it anywhere in the table here. So I could have this right here. I can move it to the right side, back side, any which way, no problem. I'm gonna hit the frame button. It's gonna do a test frame for me. So now I can visually inspect it, make sure it's exactly where I want it. One of the things I always say too is if you're at your shop, you're probably gonna have things measured out, lined up, that type of thing. Here in the studio, we kind of eyeball it, but right now I'm gonna, again, use my frame button. If I had to, I would just move it to center it here, hit origin again, frame. That looks good, so then I could close this and I could hit start.